Hey y'all, my name is William Lawson, and I am the executive director of Urban Game Changers Florida, and I am the CEO of Fightback Media. And I wanted to come to you this Saturday evening because I just watched a live from a good friend of mine, somebody that I consider a friend, Alfonso Rachel, and he was updating his supporters on the fact that he has not disappeared, that he's not dragging his feet on producing content. You know, he has people who support him, and they're wondering where his content is because they're supporting him, or they're not supporting him entirely, but you know they're adding to the thing. So they have offered their support, and they may be wondering where the content is that they're supposed to be supporting, and it's out there. Alfonso Rachel has been dealing with shadow banning from Facebook and YouTube for about 5 years now. This is not a new phenomenon. It's been going on for a long time. And now, you know, shadow banning is one thing, and now Facebook is basically just downright deleting those videos. So a lot of you were wondering what happened to Zoe Rachel and the Zoloft and those kind of things. You guys were wondering, oh, maybe he just quit, or maybe he just got a real job or whatever. No, Zoe hasn't gone anywhere. Zoe's been there all. That's the deal. Zoe's been there all along. Hasn't gone anywhere, and has been producing content the entire time. Yes. All those videos that were so popular in 2007, 2008, 2009, Zoe's been doing the very same stuff and expanding since then. Zoe's not gone anywhere. So I wanted to get on and do this because I want to let you know that Zoe Rachel has not gone anywhere, and then you can still go to his website and you can view his videos there. If you can't find them on YouTube or you can't find them on Facebook, you can still view them there, and then you can still share those underground through email with your friends. And I would not share them necessarily through Facebook or through YouTube or whatever, because they're probably going to be banned there. You can try it. What the hell? Give it a shot. It's a good thing. But if you want to get that to people, you might want to share it more underground. You might want to share it with your connections through email, or something like that, or maybe IM or something like that. Maybe you want to try that. Simply sharing the link on your Facebook page, which is the laziest thing to do, might indeed be the most inefficient thing to do. So I want people to know that Zoe Rachel is still there. But I'm curious if there's some other folks that I worked with early on, that back in 2008, 9, 10. That we've not heard much from, especially on the internet, and the list is whatever happened to C.L. Bryant. Now, remember the movie Runaway Slave, right? That's me. I remember the movie Runaway Slave. Runaway Slave was a documentary on how black people were being encouraged by C.L. Bryant and some other people to leave the Democrat Party. Because of the Democrat Party, their history, and because of the Democrat Party's behavior now. And that was back in 2008, 2009. There was supposed to be a second movie. However, that second movie was never funded, and it never came out. And that is sad. But C.L. Bryant is still in the movement. C.L. Bryant is still doing the work. It's interesting. I had this unfortunate back and forth with some people who are supporters of Candace Owens, and Candace Owens is great. I ain't got no problem with Candace Owens. So don't be dragging me because I think I'm dragging Candace Owens because I'm not. And we were just saying that there were some people, Zoe Rachel, C.L. Bryant, K. Carl Smith, and some others, Deneen Borelli, Shirley Hussar, who were out in this movement before Candace Owens, and we're doing some good work before Candace Owens, and it's a shame that the only person that people know connected to Blexit or whatever, or connected to the move for black people to move from the Democrat Party to something else, is Candace Owens, and the narrative is almost that it was her idea, and I think that that's what's hurtful, and troublesome, that it was somehow her and Kanye West's idea. But there have been voices. I mean, and we're not talking about Hiram Revels. You look up who that is. We're not talking about Hiram Revels. We're talking about 2008, 2009. We're talking about 15 years ago. We're talking again about people I just mentioned: Zoe Rachel, K. Carl Smith of the Frederick Douglass Republicans, C.L. Bryant of Runaway Slave, Herman Cain, presidential candidate for Republicans, and Deneen Borelli, and again some others. So it is, for someone like me, it's a little troublesome. And then people will say, well, it's because you're old. Okay, nothing I can do about that. But when I'm 59 and Candace, who's in her late 20s, early 30s, and Will Witt, and I don't have any problem with USA. I don't have any problem with Prager. But the idea is, if the ideas are the same, then it is the age of the ideas that matter, not the age of the person necessarily, right? So, if the ideas are the same from the people I just mentioned, then why is it that some people have faded into obscurity, literally obscurity, and then some people are being held out there? Why is that? Why is that? And that's what I want to know. But my idea is this: you know what? I never come to you without a solution, or without a supposed solution or offered solution to anything, because I started way back when with BYOS, bring your own solution. And my solution is that, knowing that the people I mentioned are still out here. They're still out here doing good work. They're still out there. Herman Cain still does broadcasting. I see C.L. Bryant on my Instagram feed every day. The folks are still out here doing good work. It's just going to be a situation, folks, where we can't use Facebook and YouTube. We can't depend on Facebook and YouTube anymore. Not that we should have ever depended on them, ever. And we can't depend on the typical conservative platforms to support us anymore, because a lot of us are liabilities, because we don't toe the line. Part of our charm is that we don't toe the line. That's part of our charm. So because we don't toe the line, there are people like Prager, and again, I don't have any problem with Prager. People like USA and some of these other folks that we're kind of a liability. Zoe mentioned it today on his live. We're more of a liability than an asset. They can't move our content because we don't look the part anymore. Some of us are too principled in what we believe, and we're not going to bend and move and not say things because it'll hurt our distribution. I think a lot of the people I just mentioned are still in it for the right reasons. Not that everybody who's still in it, who's being seen, isn't in it for the right reasons. But there is a difference. Folks, my solution is that if you're interested in what's going on with C.L. Bryant and K. Carl Smith and Shirley Hussar and others, what we're going to have to do is go underground. I mentioned this a few months ago, and I'm mentioning it again today because we're in quarantine, we're in lockdown, we're being held prisoner by government in our homes, is that we're going to have to go underground. We're going to have to look at this completely differently. We're going to have to stop depending on Facebook posts, because right now, I'm telling you what, a Facebook post isn't going any further than your hand. An unpaid Facebook post isn't going any farther than your hand. It just isn't. A YouTube video put up, this YouTube video being put up isn't going any farther than your hand. If it's not being shadow banned, if it's not being throttled, then what's happening is, because there are so many people on right now because they're sequestered in their homes, is that YouTube and Facebook are only letting paid advertising or paid posts, paid advertising more than paid posts. Don't be boosting. That's a waste of money. Have any reach at all. It's interesting that now you're hearing you're hearing from people on Facebook that you haven't heard from in years, because they're back on Facebook, but they're in your small circle, and your circle isn't growing. I can guarantee it, buddy. Your circle is not growing. If anything, your circle on Facebook and YouTube are shrinking. Just because more people are on doesn't mean that you're reaching them. As a matter of fact, the fact that more people are on is pretty sure that you're not reaching them. So in order to get our reach, we're going to have to do something different. We're going to have to go underground. We're going to have to go back to online. We're going to have to go back to email. I know, email. What? We're going to have to be copying links in email. We're going to have to flip and do something. I'm going to have to just go through some more than one-step procedures before you just click the share button and woo, and you thought you were doing something. That's not how it's working. Right now, you're going to have to go in there and find, where the link is, and copy the link, write an email, and send that email to your friends, and get them to send it to friends too. I think that we want to stop preaching to the choir, but first we got to get the church back together. I do think we spend a lot of time preaching to the choir, but right now, because of how social media and the people who are in charge of Facebook and Google and YouTube are treating the church, we have to first get the church back together. We got to get the band back together first. And then from there, we can individually start reaching out to people. So let's do that first. You know me. If you've been following me any other time, you know that I'm a first things first kind of dude. So let's do that. Let's get the church back together. Let's get our people who are, who are supportive of the message and who will support it back together and get strong again. Right now, because of shadow banning and outright banning and the cancel culture, we have completely or nearly been decimated when trying to stay on platforms that hate our guts. So we're going to have to go underground. For the few of you who see this, you're on the front line, so to speak. You're gonna have to decide to go underground. You're gonna have to decide that it is time to take the link from this video and go underground, or you're gonna have to decide that you're going to take the next step. You might just copy it. You might just download this video from YouTube. Just download it, or download it from the Facebook page, and then pass it around. Or find some way to put it on a website, or find some way to put it so where people can see it. Yeah, we're going to have to start going the extra mile. We don't have the advantage of convenience anymore. We're not being afforded that advantage by Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. We're not. So back underground we go, where we came from the first place. Remember the people who brought these ideas to you in the first place. Alfonso Rachel, C.L. Bryant, K. Carl Smith, Deneen Borelli, Shirley Hussar, Sonny Johnson. Remember? Well, me too, a little bit. In any case, well, thank you so much for your time. I hope this video stays up on YouTube long enough for you to be able to get it to other people. We'll be sending some shorter videos up that'll be easier to copy and easier to email soon enough. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.